It is Saturday night once again. This is the Overnight Mouse Party. I'm Dia Foss, and apparently the AI, when I was making those pictures, thought that Gizzard Gary liked to dress flamboyantly.
Was
I
going to
don't
say
remember.
Gizzard's got some nice, what do you call them? Like sweatsuit suits,
I
sets?
I I think I probably told it a rooster in a tracksuit. I think is what I'll normally put, but
Would have been awesome if they made the rooster look like a mobster in a tracksuit.
well, that's usually what I'm thinking. Adidas, kind of Eastern Bloc
He's a San
Russian
Francisco,
gangster.
he's a San Francisco mobster.
Yeah. But so tonight we've got gun websites. How's it going, G-Webs?
It looks like Gizzard is going to be giving Clover a run for his money at SHOT Show this year with his tracksuit.
And Gizzard Gary, who's a little under the weather. I appreciate you being here.
Yo.
Guns and Barbecue, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, Mr. Foss. Thank you for putting the link in your Discord, as you always do. If you folks want to join in, you should go join the Discord. And how are you, sir?
I'm doing all right. Doing all right. I did want to
Too
do.
far. I apologize. For when you hit the intro, was there a video that played?
There was.
Because on my end, it was just an overlay of your mouse logo.
It might be your signal strength is showing really low. So
It does that whenever I'm on mobile. I don't know why. So I don't know. But I'm sorry. You were saying. I didn't mean to be so rude.
Oh no, I was just going to. I wanted to make a correction on the video, the shorty shot shell video that I did. I said that the holes were Fiocchi, and they're actually not Fiocchi. That's not Fiocchi. Fiocchi. Yeah. So it wasn't Fiocchi, which you can't see it on the camera. They are. Now I forget what the hell they other ones that look just like Fiocchi. So that's a Fiocchi, and that's Cheddite. So I was using Cheddite holes, which look exactly like it, except the head stamps are different. The Fiocchi ones say Fiocchi, and the Cheddites have. Where's the camera? You're not going to see it, but there's 2 stars on them. So I just wanted to make a correction because I realized I said the wrong hole. They're both European straight wall. I don't think there's any great difference between the two, but just to be clear, I did say the wrong hole. Other than that, so I have a new chronograph, so I can start being a grown-up reloader and chronograph the stuff I make to see what it's doing. I have to figure out how to use it because I've never used one before.
You could have done that without, you could save a lot of money. You just get an index card, 2 index cards, put one close to the barrel and one further away, and then just watch and count when the hole goes through the first one. Count and however long it takes before the hole goes in the second one, and just do some math. It's simple.
Use my stopwatch.
Yeah, there you
go. Well, all the fancy guys have the chronograph. So, well, now the fancy guys have the radar chronographs, but I don't want to spend that much for a chronograph. And apparently, I guess PSA has Smith & Wesson 686s. I think DJ sent me a link for it with no context, so I don't know why he sent it to me. But PSA is selling Smith & Wesson 686. I think it was a 6-inch barrel, but they're like $600, 680, something like that, which seemed like a decent price to me. So I don't know why he sent it to me, but I thought I would let everybody know. Pinned to the top of the chat is a link for this week's poll. If you haven't voted, head over there and vote. Let me get the banner going while I'm thinking about it. At the bottom of the screen is email address untitledfuss@gmail.com and a link for the Discord. So the email, you can send in comments, suggestions, or pictures within reason. And the Discord, it's a happening cool place to hang out, chit chat, share memes, and stuff like that. You can always get a hold of me there. And usually anybody else that comes on the chat, you can get a hold of them through the Discords. So we'll take a quick look, see who is out there so far. Gizzard Gary, Mr. Bob Davalina, Ozzy Osbourne, X Adam 1 said I was going to get a chronograph, but my apartment complex wouldn't allow me to set it up in my living room or balcony. Something about safety of others.
Once they make
If your apartment complex don't know, won't hurt them.
Yeah, once they make suppressors legal, we'll be able to shoot anywhere, anytime.
And 2 Live Moo. Moobies is out there.
Every time I don't get a parking place I want, I'm just going to shoot suppressed.
Oh.
They run on macaroni or something at the salad bar. Shooting.
I heard if you just put a pillow over the end of your muzzle, the exact same thing.
Be legal. That'd be legal.
Yep.
Vulcan Rumble is here. And I've got to wait for his comment to come out. There we go. The goddamn bacon.
Why is there a countdown? Oh, is that the timers thing?
What's
Like
that?
when somebody comments, when it first shows up, there's like a little countdown. Did you see that around the I guess their logo? Watch the next time somebody comments. I'm the only one seeing it. It's like a little countdown happens around their logo in the comment over on the left.
No, I had not noticed that. Somebody comment.
Yeah, come on. We're trying to see something. Did you see that there's it didn't happen with Moo, so I don't know what happens.
When I click on them, there's the countdown.
No,
that's
on them. Yeah.
That's the set. How long I have it set to show their comment, and then after 16 seconds, it'll automatically pull it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that way I don't forget to pull the comments down.
Oh, I didn't know you could even do that. Okay.
Moose said he just checked. There's $649.99 for the Smith & Wessons.
Did you see the comments? I gotta go look on YouTube. But on the comments, there's a new thing. When you comment, you get experience points or something.
No.
Like you get points for what you do in the comments, so that you get a ranking. I seen it on Never Enough Ammo's chat, and Hillbilly has it now too. Oh, now Hillbilly got it before me. I'm pissed. I'm gonna make a call to YouTube. But I don't know what it's called now. Dang it. I remember because it's on Hillbilly's chat. I don't know if you can see it in the replay or not. But anyway, it's super cool. It's like it's a ranking. So like as people commenting, they get points. And then if they super chat and stuff, they probably get points. So then as a chat goes on for any length of time, like it's a leaderboard, I guess is what they call it. And everybody gets ranked automatically by Google. So and it's a new way to do it's a new way to do a giveaway or whatever. I'm seeing if you got it.
It's a good way to drive participation.
Yeah, exactly.
I have not seen it, but I don't
It's in the
I don't.
comments and it shows up, like where you have to click live. Like I always have to go up there and click it to live because it's always on
Yeah.
top and you can't see nothing. It's over to the right where there's those little dots and you can fiddle with other shit. It's kind of between the dots and the live chat. It shows up and tells you your points. And when you click on it, you see the leaderboard and see everybody else's points and who's winning. And I don't think people know they have it yet, but it's going to be super cool. I think it's going to be a cool feature.
I don't know. I'll have to check that out. I usually don't make anybody's live stream, so I don't.
Oh, I'll bet you Yankee has it. He has a ton of super chats.
I would
Imagine
think
they
so.
give it to people with super chats.
And we'll take a look at the poll here in just a little bit, as I remember what we're doing here.
Did you say bracket?
I do have a bracket.
I knew it. I heard there was going to be 3 live brackets tonight.
No, I think you paid for some bum information there.
This came to
Somebody
me.
gypped you.
I was just standing on the street corner and I heard the scuttle.
Must have been some.
Went over to water cooler, same thing. It's verified.
Sounds like just a crazy crackhead talk. But yeah, I was gonna try and hit Hillbilly's chat. So I wanted to talk to Jamie. I had a reloading question, and I can't make their Friday reloading chat. There's a recipe for single lot buck, and it's a 10 pellet single lot buck, but my stack height is too tall. It's all the components that the recipe says from the Ballistic Products, their buckshot manual. But it's like an eighth of an inch too tall, and I don't know why. The problem is I don't know what I don't know.
Well, why don't you
No.
quit going in there with that razor blade and cutting off the end of the hulls all the time?
Well, that was only on the shorties. This is a full size. But yeah, and trying to poke around, trying to find, if somebody else has had this problem on forums and stuff, but I haven't seen anybody ask or answer a question about that. So I don't know. I mean, so it means I can't fold crimp these. I can roll crimp them. It's not the greatest because it's a little short on the roll crimp, but it holds. So I don't think it'll be a problem with the function. But I would like to ask somebody who might know, just so I can make them look pretty.
What if you load them all up, set them on a table, take a dowel, and then smack on it with a hammer so that they all squish in there?
I don't know if that would work. Sergeant Joe Smith is out there. And Woods is up late with us. Good evening.
I seen Snob kicking around, like 45 minutes ago? You think he's still awake?
He's what?
I seen him kicking around on Discord like 45 minutes ago, so I wonder if he's still awake.
I doubt it.
Fuku YT Boomstick is out there. Good evening. Well, why don't we go ahead and take a look at the poll before I forget, which is apt to happen.
Anybody remember the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie Raw Deal?
Yeah.
I watched that one on Amazon the other day. It's like the worst movie ever. But the
Yeah.
thing that I thought was the weirdest thing about it is he's a discredited cop, and then his friend on the FBI or something says, "Somebody killed my kid, so I want you to go in and infiltrate the bad guy, like mob thing in Chicago or whatever." And he's like, "All right, I'll go do that." And then of course his friend gets shot, so now he's on his own. as a undercover. Nobody knows he's undercover. And the whole end of the movie, he's just killing everybody. Like, all he does is go on a murderous rampage and kill all the bad guys, and then that's the end of the movie. Like, oh well, I guess there's no consequences for just killing tons and tons of people, and then just the movie's over. Like, that's what I just never paid attention back in the day that it's pretty much there's no law in that movie. Like, he kind of starts out as a cop, but he just kills dozens and dozens of people and then walks away.
It's been a while since I've seen it, but no, it was not a good movie. So this week's poll was, what grade would you give your life currently? A, excellent. B, pretty good. C, I'm hanging in there. Or D, I'm struggling. 44% said C, I'm hanging in there. 32% said pretty good. D, I'm struggling, was 13%. And 11% said A, excellent. And if you're struggling, I can't guarantee I can help, but maybe for the next hour or whatnot, we can give you a respite from your troubles, a little bit of entertainment. What were you saying, Jim?
I hate to think about people struggling, but that just correlates to, coincidentally, with the number of people that shoot 9mm, 13%. Just saying.
Oh, unfortunately that's a growing number of 9mm. There's a plot to make all 9mm. European plot. So looking at the comments, Chris Lang said it's all about perception. Grass may be greener on the other side, but at the same time it could be poisonous. We need to stop judging ourselves based on what others have. If you're an able-bodied person with a roof, food, job, vehicle, you're way above many others. X-Bowman said, I can afford my rent and all my bills and still save a little bit of money each week, so I say B. The goddamn Bacon said, these days, living off every cheat code I know of, along with bourbon. FukuYT Mark 6 Boomstick said, age 1 through 14, interesting. 15 through 25, fun. 26 through 64, numb. 65 and up, don't care anymore. A Patriot in the Dark, well, I'm probably only earning a B+, but man, I'm killing it with all the extra credit. It's kind of like getting English credits by only doing the graphics in the school newspaper. Dave said C. X Adam 1 said, I'm coasting, but getting bored. I would say I'm probably at a B. Things are pretty good. I really don't have any complaints. Only reason it's not an A is just my laziness. I'm not putting out the effort. I know if I did, I could move up. But fat, happy, and sassy, where I'm at. What about you fellas? Where would you kind of put yourselves?
What were the options again?
A, excellent. B, pretty good. C, I'm hanging in there. And D, I'm struggling.
Kicking back this year, so excellent.
Excellent.
And what was the question?
What grade would you give your life currently?
Oh. A-.
A-? That's good to hear. Gary, how about you?
Well, I just like to say I'm hanging in there. Well, part of it is I'm not feeling so well, but yeah, I'm hanging in there. But I do have advice for the people who are suffering with 9mm addiction. There is a cure, and it's called 40 Smith & Wesson.
Nice. Even when he's suffering, he's helping others.
That's right.
I'm going to say he's a giver.
I do I carry 40 every day just for that little pick me up. It gets me through the day.
I do prefer it's much more handsome European brother 10 millimeter, but nonetheless.
No, sir. Please. 10 millimeter is not European.
But it's metric.
It did, though.
It's done to mock the Europeans. It's done in it's metric, ironically.
Yeah.
Yes.
What I don't like, the only thing I don't like about 40 Smith and Wesson is that every time I go into the bank, they'll say, "Hey, we're giving away a loan you don't have to pay back for anyone that's carrying 40," and then I have to wait for all these people to get tens of thousands of dollars. So in that way, it inconveniences me a little bit. But that's my only complaint about 40.
Oh, see, I don't have that problem. I go into the bank and they do that, and like all these 9 millimeter shooters just get really mad. Like, what?
They start to
What
yell.
about 9 millimeter? And we're like, well, we don't do these loans for children. Sorry.
They
Shoot a man's round.
They stamp their small feet and shake their tiny little fists in anger.
Yeah, it's like midget wrestling.
Modern ballistics.
It's the opposite of a bank robbery. When the banks have all that extra money and they're like, "Oh, we can't even put it in the drawers anymore." Does anybody have 40 Smith and Wesson? We'd like to get rid of all these 20s and hundreds that we have. I mean, it's a good test because it's like a barometer. They know you're a good person if you're carrying 40 Smith & Wesson, so they know they can trust you with all that money.
What said the CM? I think he means the 1 centimeter. Defense Dad is out there. Said, "Hey, now I'm perfectly happy with my new 9 millimeter pill delivery tool, Shield Plus, and I have confirmed with Defense Dad that Thunder on the Prairie is going to happen in October."
I'm just going to say, like, the guy that said he's fine with his 9 millimeter also shoots micro four thirds. I realize, like, nobody out there's going to get that, but he gets it.
X Adam 1 said that sounds like a bank robbery. Ozzy Osbourne said 40 Smith & Wesson is for sissy boys that can't handle a man's round 10 millimeter. Well, some people just don't like the extra strength 10 millimeter. They like the regular strength 40 Smith & Wesson. I will, on my list of things to hopefully someday get, is a 10 millimeter 1911. I did have the 10 millimeter Witness, which I really liked until it stopped working, and then I stopped liking it and got rid of it.
May I make a suggestion?
Yes, sir.
If you ever just happen to, be at a gun shop and happen upon a original Delta Elite, just don't even hesitate. If you got the funds, do it. It's fucking amazing. Don't get me wrong. I love my Ruger SR 1911 and 10 millimeter. That was actually my first 1911 at all. But something about that Delta Elite's just different. Oh man.
I spent a lot of time looking at those in catalogs when they first, were hitting the scene in the 80s.
Yeah, the funding is kind of the major setback. Which reminds me, I did buy an over-under shotgun. For safety reasons.
The reason I can't buy that gun is because I don't have any money. By the way, I bought a gun.
I have to wait 10 days for safety reasons to make everybody safe. Before I can pick it up, I get to pick it up on the 10th.
But a politician assumes that gun owners are desperate, violent, crazed people, so that rule is there to protect us all.
Well, the other firearms that I already have aren't the problem. It's that next one that could be the problem. So I need a cool down period.
You could have been angry at the store, not at home, at the store.
But it is what it is, and I bought it from Cabela's, which is I've heard that other Cabela's in other states are not as bad, but it is an absolute pain in the ass to buy a gun from Cabela's. It takes forever. Um, it was a little faster this time. I might be because it was used, so I went through the gun library, but everything gets checked 3 times by three different people, and then when I go back to pick it up, the last couple times it was an hour wait. Even when you can make an appointment ahead of time to, so you're not supposed to have to wait. But since none of the people working at the counters will talk to you until your number is called, I couldn't even get anybody's attention to tell them that I had an appointment set.
Is this like a bureaucracy thing or like a procedural thing, or like they're worried about law, so they're doing it like by the book or what?
Well, they're basically triple checking their work.
Like, I guess I should have said,
To
is it
cover their
like
ass.
because they're not capable and like they're just hiring kids and they have to have like 3 managers?
No,
make sure
it's the way
they're-
their system is set up, is to be extra safe on their end to cut any liability. And it's been a while since I bought I think that Ruger Blackhawk was the last thing. I bought two guns from them. The PPK I know I got from them, and the Blackhawk. I think that's the only 2 I bought from them.
Have you guys ever heard of JG Sales in Arizona?
Yes.
Yes.
When you go there, they're like the worst thing I've ever experienced because they get audited 1,000% by the ATF. They always have been. So if you make any mistake at all, you got to start a whole new 4473. Like they don't want they won't cross nothing out. They'll make you start a whole nother one.
Yeah.
Now,
It's a close.
do they get audited like that because they're so close to the border, or?
No. Just because they've always been a wholesaler. Back in the day, they
Oh, okay.
tons of guns going through them is all. And I think it's just quantity. Yep. I mean, maybe I'm sure with that quantity, something had to go across the border, but it was just the ATF being whatever, ultra worried about it.
Woods was asking the one in Lacey. Yes, the one in Lacey. And I had people tell me that in their state, it was quick and no problem. So I don't know. It's
I'm almost positive, listening to conversations back in the old days, well, like 6 years ago or something, people had opposite opinions. Like sometimes people could walk in and just get a gun in no time in a Cabela's, but it's probably a factor of the competency of the people, probably. Or probably, I guess, Obama's zero tolerance thing in a corporation. Probably, probably he created a whole bunch of procedures in a corporation that a regular gun shop can just handle.
Yeah, up in the gun section, there's 4. I think it's 4 registers. And when I bought the PPK, they had recently set it up so you could only use 2 of those when you're processing a gun. So it further bottlenecked the process. And the guy that was helping, he didn't have a clue why they did that. But so I think it took like 3 hours when I picked it up to finish the paperwork. It was a nightmare. The Blackhawk wasn't quite as bad. and we'll see how the shotgun goes. It wasn't too bad doing the 4473, kind of sitting around waiting for the two different managers to come over and double check the paperwork.
Now, does this have anything to do with Washington specific stuff, or is this just all national level stuff that they're worried about?
I don't know. Oh, I just realized I don't think I even showed the poll. I've got it up on my other screen, but I didn't show it, did I, while I was talking about it? So just to confirm the numbers, there's the poll. I don't know if it's. Sounds like maybe it is just a Washington. I don't know. But Woods is saying Bass Pro is better than Cabela's. They're the same company now. The shotgun. I was bidding on a Japanese shotgun on Gunbroker, which I ended up losing. And so I went to Cabela's the next day. Was it? Yeah, the next day, because I knew they had a Spanish box lock shotgun for cheap. I was going to buy that, and then I found pretty much the same shotgun I was bidding on for about the same price, but in better condition. So I bought a Moroku. It's a Japanese shotgun. They make the they make shotguns for. Who makes the Satori shotgun?
What do you mean? I thought that's the name of the company.
No, it's a brand. It's a model.
Benelli?
No, it's like Winchester. Browning. So they make shotguns for Browning. And
the traditional method of reloading shotguns in Japan is more like a sushi roll.
And I'm not. They didn't have a model listed, so I'm not sure exactly if it's the same model. But it didn't really matter. I didn't have my heart set on this model or that model. But I liked that it was a Japanese shotgun because one, guns are rare in Japan, and I have a Howa, which is Japanese. I have a wife that's Japanese, so I thought a Japanese shotgun would be cool.
So how long is it? Normal or long?
It's probably about 26, I think.
Altogether?
26 inches. Yeah. It's not super long.
So it's like a hunting one, not a big, long, competitive one or something?
No. It's not like the 30-inch.
Fancy wood or regular hunting wood? Lightweight, a lot of marbling and grains and shit polished up, or just plain old wood that's solid?
No, it's more of a budget style.
And then one trigger, two trigger?
One trigger.
No hammers?
No. That's what the Spanish one I was looking at had two triggers, and I thought, oh, it's kind of old schooly, fancy dancy, two triggers. But when I found that the Japanese one, they had a couple of them. One was in nicer shape, and of course was more money. But
screw-in chokes or fixed?
I think they're fixed. I'm not sure. I actually don't know. Fuku YT said they also make Browning and Winchester rifles. They did have lever action Moroku also, which was kind of out of my price range.
You gonna go hunting with it then, or skeet, or what are you gonna do?
Just a range. I don't have one. Kind of wanted one. and maybe use that for doing, when I'm doing trying new shotgun loads rather than using the pump. Guns and Waters is out there.
Best over and under in a movie.
Couldn't tell you.
Man, I can't think of too many movies that had a minute. Like, I know I've seen a couple, but I can't even think of what they were.
So I figured it'd be a tough one because you don't see them very often.
Two Live Moose said most of my shotguns have 28-inch barrels. I have one that's 26, which I really like. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's either 26 or 28, but I don't remember. So like I said, it's not, I'm not hunting with it. It's not for anything specific. I just wanted an over-under shotgun at a decent price. The fact that it was Japanese was just a bonus to me. I would like to someday. I'm pretty sure there's like one gun shop in Japan. I'd like to go visit it someday. The goddamn bacon said Day of the Dead. Would have said Zombieland, but that's a side-by-side.
I asked the robots. Snatch from 2000, Shooter from 2007, Skyfall from 2012, The Gentleman in 2019, John Wick 2 from 17, the fake shitty remake of The Mechanic in 2011, and The Thomas Crown Affair in 1999. If the robot's right, it's confidently wrong all the time.
I cannot remember in Shooter where the hell there was a over under unless it was literally just like in the background.
Yeah, it says in various characters in rural scenes, a break action over and under appears in a more practical context for hunting and defense, but that's generic and it could be fake.
Oh no, because there's a scene where the senators that are corrupt are out in the field pheasant hunting, so probably.
Okay, there you go.
Or it might have been dove hunting. Either way, they're hunting some sort of bird, so good chance.
Mr. Bob said my friend worked for the local Browning warehouse from high school until she retired. They gave her a Satori shotgun for her retirement gift.
Was that in Orem? So I thought I assume their factory is still in Salt Lake City somewhere.
Guns of Water is wondering what one gun shop. This was years and years ago that I pretty sure I'm remembering correctly, but it was rifles, no pistols or anything. Rifles, and I don't remember anything about it because it was over 10 years ago that I looked up to see if there was one in Japan. I'm pretty sure there's like one, but I mean, I could be misremembering. Mr. Bob said Arnold, Missouri.
Interesting. Because I tried when I was in Salt Lake City. I tried to call Browning to see if I could get a tour, and they were like, "All we have there is a warehouse." So I assumed it was there. Very cool. How cool would it be working at a shotgun warehouse? I mean, it's probably cooler jobs, but that's pretty cool job. As long as dead air. We still get paid for this?
Yeah. as long as he clocked in. Oh, I was just doing a quick search on gun shops in Japan. I wonder if I was dreaming. I don't remember. Yeah. Mr. Bob said it's about 30 miles south of St. Louis city limits.
So I told the robot what movies have over and under shotguns, and it told me, and then it goes, "Do you want me to make a poster?" And I go, "Yeah, make a poster." And it made a fucking poster of all the people in movies that have over under and shotguns. The AI is getting pretty damn good.
Mr. Bob said after a trade show, someone put a box of red dots in the closet and forgot about them. She got a case to give away for Christmas when they were cleaning out the closet at work. And Wood said, side by side is Army of Darkness, the reason I bought my Stoeger coach gun.
She's like, "I don't know what these are," and gives them to her grandkid or whatever. Some grandkid is like, "Oh, I got a box of 25 red dots. Thanks." I got to get 25 pistols.
Oh, it's kind of like my grandma called me. This was back, I can't remember, junior high. I don't think it was grade school, maybe junior high-ish age. And she goes, I found a Star Wars album. Is this your Star Wars album? I told her no, I didn't have one. She goes, well, do you want it? I was like, sure, I'll take it. Went over to grandma's house, and it wasn't Star Wars. It was Jesus Christ Superstar album.
Did it look like the Star Wars or something?
I know it did not. The goddamn bacon said, off subject, but did you turn off zero chags? I don't know what that is. Or did you ever have it? I don't know if I had it because I don't know what that is.
I think he meant super chats.
Oh. No, I never had it. I'm not monetized.
But if you do want to throw money at him, over somewhere on his page, there is a thing where you can go buy a DM Foss t-shirt with his custom designs.
Yes, there is. I don't know. I'm not, I don't know. I'm still not comfortable with it. I did it. I don't know. So, yeah. Gunswater said, be careful, G-Webs. AI will try to get you to do stuff. It's evil. I've watched some videos.
Become
XM wants
less afraid of AI than I had been. I think I'm more comfortable with it, understanding what it can do.
XM wants that I have yet to shoot my Stoeger coach gun. Mr. Knives is out there. Good evening.
All that's left in the back room is chocolates. There's a bunch of Reese's peanut butter cups and some Butterfingers and a bunch of Milky Ways. They're all unwrapped and just sitting there. It's not real hot in there, so they're not melted or anything.
And it's all the ones I don't like. Yeah, the goddamn bacon. He corrected it. Super chats. Yeah, I didn't monetize my channel, so there's no super chats. How should we do a bracket?
It's 4 people. Well, 3.5.
Yep.
Because they're being broken.
All right, hold on.
It's got a bad wing.
Yeah, you're gonna have to sit through the exciting process of me filling out a bracket because I forgot to pre-fill out the bracket. So give
It's
me
going to
just
be
a moment.
awesome. In the meantime, while Foss is doing that, y'all should go and check out that cool website. I don't know where to find it or what it is exactly to get those T-shirts, but they're the bomb diggity, I hear. I think that's what the kids say, bomb diggity, right? I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably all right. Well, let me see where I put the pictures. All right. So we'll show pictures
Because he
here.
doesn't have super chat, if you just put your credit card number and expiration date and the 3-digit PIN, then what we'll do is run a super chat on this end, so it's no big deal. Just go ahead and put your credit card number, expiration date, and PIN in there. No big deal.
So today's bracket is the best monkey. And in this context, the monkey, it can be a monkey or an ape. We use monkey as a catch-all term because it's funnier than ape.
I've got to ask, is the band The Monkees on here?
No.
Damn
These
it.
are actual
real monkeys.
Or fictional
But they were so good.
animals. So there's Bonzo from Bedtime for Bonzo.
I don't even know if I've
Ronald
ever watched
Reagan film.
Has
I
anybody
think there
watched
were at least 2 Bonzo movies. I know there's one, but I thought there were 2. Caesar from Planet of the Apes.
the real one, not the fake ones after?
Yep, I don't acknowledge those.
Gonna have some
Chim Chim.
free chocolate after this, from what I understand, right?
If you can find it, it's hidden somewhere. If you can find it, Chim Chim from Speed Racer.
That's a pretty good monkey.
Clyde from the Any Which Way But Loose and Any Which Way You Can, or
I was hoping he'd be on here.
Left Turn Clyde. George, the Curious Monkey.
How come X Adam 1 knew about Curious Stories before he was even on the screen? What's up with that? It seems like a conspiracy.
Rigged.
Donkey Kong.
Okay, so there's going to be giant gorillas. I got it.
The Flying Monkey from Wizard of Oz.
Fake monkey.
King Louie from the Disney's Jungle Book. King Kong.
Just specifically this one, or all King Kongs?
All King Kongs, but
Okay.
I wanted to use the original image. Coco, the maybe sign language gorilla. There's some doubt as to whether Coco really could do sign language or it was just the handlers were interpreting what she was saying. Lancelot Link.
Oh, shit. Now it's really getting real.
Grape Ape. Grape Ape. Magilla Gorilla. A gorilla. Mechanic Kong.
And we see our winner. Our winner has entered the round.
Mighty Joe Young. The tiny King Kong. The Trunk Monkey. Chim Chim was the original Trunk Monkey, but this is the modern Trunk Monkey.
The rerun, the sequel.
Yeah. So that's our 16, and now I got to put them in the bracket.
So we can come up with all the monkeys you missed?
Yeah, you can start naming monkeys as I fill this out. Don't all go at once.
Well, there's the Indiana Jones monkey who eats the date and dies. That's a dead monkey. There's got to be other little squirrel monkeys. You don't have any squirrel monkeys in here. It's kind of a ripoff.
Well, like Maurice from Friends.
What's Mighty Joe Young? I don't think I've seen that movie either. Then
It's basically King Kong but smaller. Mighty Joe Young kind of falls in love with a girl. They take him to Hollywood, and then people attack him. And
there's definitely a lot of cartoon monkeys.
Oh, snap! I was muted. What about the gorilla from George of the Jungle? Because he could talk and do like show tunes and shit. He was pretty sweet.
George? Is it? No, not George. What was his friend's name?
I think it was just Ape.
Yeah, it was. Yep. Let's see. Abu from Aladdin. I don't know that movie. Marcel from Friends.
oh yeah, I said the wrong name. That's who it was.
How many more do we need?
Well,
No,
we've got our bracket.
I think there's
Oh.
plenty. I was just saying what other ones are there. Oh, Donkey Kong. You already have Donkey Kong.
Yeah, he's just stalling while I fill out the bracket.
Let's say we can't say.
Oh, you know what a real one would be that you missed? Whoever the name of the monkey is that went to space. We sent monkeys into space, right?
We didn't have Harambe in here.
That's Reddit. Everybody on Reddit is moaning right now. I tell you what, the robot sucks at telling you famous monkeys. It has like none.
I didn't have Peter Tork in
But it
there
does
either.
does have Albert 1 through 6, which is the name of the 7 monkeys, or the 6 monkeys that we put into space. And then
Due to legal reasons, we cannot have Diddy Kong on here right now.
Abel and Baker are the first monkeys to survive space travel. And then Ham the chimp was a chimpanzee but grouped with the space monkeys. He was the first great ape in space. So the first monkeys in space were rhesus and squirrel monkeys, and then Abel and Baker were the first of those monkeys to come back and not die. And then Ham the chimp was the first chimpanzee in space.
I didn't realize we had any of the animals come back.
I think one of the dogs came back. I went to the Space Museum in New Mexico, and that's when I seen that. But yeah, most of the time we didn't even have options for them to come back. Like we just
watched them die. One-way trip.
But I think after a while we wanted to figure out if we get people back, so that's probably when they did it, right? Like trying to figure out how to get people back.
Huh. Go figure. Like that's the one thing I remember from like 6th grade science class. Like, oh yeah, we sent these animals into space, and then that was it. Never mentioned like, oh yeah, we sent other ones and brought them back.
Mojo Jojo from the Powderpuff Girls. They got Link. Got Spike from Pet Detective.
Closet Monkey from Family Guy.
Oh, is that a ripoff of Trunk Monkey?
No, he comes out and he points his finger.
Oh, that's right.
Angrily.
Okay.
And then it turns out like he's actually super smart, and that was a funny episode when the Closet Monkey talks to Chris, and then they start doing everything together. And Peter gets pissed off because Chris has replaced him with the monkey.
Yeah, it was just his wife cheated on him. That's why he's angry.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, Chris. I didn't mean to scare you.
All right, so that's our 16. Let me go up and shuffle our teams. Shuffling. And there.
Here's a trick. If you put the monkey on one side of the room, you go to the other side of the room, put a banana over here, and then you stand over here. Whoever the monkey goes to is who he cares about more. So if you're ever concerned if a monkey loves you, you can try that trick.
Oh, then he'll rip your face off. I don't think Hervé Villachez was a monkey.
Monkeys with bananas are the 3% less likely to rip your face off. So, just saying.
Well, in Escape from the Planet of the Apes, Zora doesn't like bananas. So, all right, the first matchup, we've got Grape Ape versus the Trunk Monkey.
Ouch.
Gee webs.
I think Trunk Monkey has a real competitive edge on this one. It could take it the whole way. Grape Ape is okay, but he's fake. And although there's a van in it, it's a ripoff of Scooby-Doo's van and a ripoff of King Kong. So we're going to go with Trunk Monkey, who's epic.
Trunk Monkey. Gizzard.
Trunk Monkey.
Trunk Monkey. And if you feel like your voice is given out, you can type it in the chat if you want.
You can just throw a banana towards the one that you want to win.
Barbecue.
Trunk Monkey.
Trunk Monkey.
What if he squeezes a chicken once for the first one and twice for the second one?
You can do that if you wanted. Wood said Grape Ape. Guns and Water said Trunk Monkey. Boomstick said Trunk Monkey. X Adam 1 said Trunk Monkey gets things done. That he does.
Am I missing something with Grape Ape? I remember walking out of the room usually when Grape Ape came on. So
I liked Grape Ape. I still like Grape Ape. I have a Grape Ape sticker.
He basically just says Grape Ape all the time, and then the other people do stuff, or does he do stuff?
Actually, I don't remember anything from the cartoons except riding on the van and Grape Ape.
That's what I'm saying. I think he just stood around and they'd go, look, we got a big monkey, and people would run away. But I can't remember.
But I have to give it to Trunk Monkey. As X Adam 1 said, he gets things done. So now we've got the Mechanic Kong.
Who was the dog? I remember liking the one with the dog with the guns.
Which dog with guns? Deputy Dog or
probably Deputy Dog. I think it was the Deputy Dog that I liked on Hanna-Barbera.
Well, that's an older one, and then there was
or maybe it was a horse with guns. There was some white thing with guns.
There was the horse.
His the one I watched, not the Grape Ape, and then Hong Kong Phooey, of course.
There's Huckleberry Hound. He had guns.
Wait, no, what?
And
Exit
the horse
Stage Left guy had guns?
What's that?
Isn't that Exit Stage Left?
No. That was the panther.
Oh, okay. I'm
Snagglepuss.
I'm going
Snagglepuss. I can't remember the name of the horse because his alternate persona was El Kabong when he had kind of the Zorro outfit and he hit people with a guitar.
Oh, that's right. Maybe he didn't have guns then.
But no, his regular persona, he did have a gun.
Okay.
But I don't remember. I can't think of his name. Quick Draw McGraw. Thank you. And then Guns and Water and Woods is saying it's Exit Stage Left with Snagglepuss. So now Mechanic Kong versus King Louie. G-Webs.
I'm going to take Mechanic Kong all the way to the end because he's a giant robot monkey, which is the ultimate of all things.
Gizzard?
Oh, I'm going to go with Mechanic Kong.
Barbecue.
I'm going to go with King Louie because if Mechanic Kong takes this, the next time that we do a bracket like this with monkeys, I feel like there will be an AI monkey by then, and we can't have that.
Guns and Water said Baba Booey. Boomstick said Kong. Wood said King Louie. So it's a little mixed out there in the chat. I really like The Jungle Book. I saw it at I think first time I saw it was a drive-in theater. Not when it first came out, because it came out in the 60s. But as a kid, we saw it at the drive-in theater, and I've always loved it. But I have to go with the Mechanic Kong.
I don't mind Jungle Book, but I don't like the monkey wise person coach character in a lot of the. Is it all Disney movies? I know it's a lot of cartoons, so I don't know if they're all Disney movies, but it seems like there's always like a wise old orangutan or something, and that character gets on my nerves.
Well, King Louie wasn't. I guess he's smart, but he wasn't the wise advisor. He wanted to learn how to make fire. That's his whole song was about learning how to, being able to make fire. That's why he wanted to be like you, when he's talking to Mowgli. I love that movie, but the big robot. I also like. I like there's two Mechanic Kongs. One, he has a little bit of fur, and then I think his joints are silver. But I like the King Kong Escapes where he's all silver. I bought that movie off eBay a few years ago, and it was from a guy in France, and waited like 3 months, and it never showed up, so I contacted him, and he sent me out another one, which I got in like 2 weeks, and like 4 or 5 months later, the original DVD showed up, and I ended up giving it away as a prize. A couple years ago now, I think. Goddamn Bacon said Jungle Book was 60s. Yeah, it was like 68 or something like that. Pretty sure. So now we've got Chim Chim versus Lancelot Link.
Shit.
Webs.
That is impossible, really. What is the top? What are we supposed to be using as the determining factor here? Just plain old best monkey?
Whichever you think is the best monkey.
This is impossible. Well, nobody's going to vote for Lancelot Link, so I guess I'll give it to Lancelot Link. At least I'll get a vote.
Lancelot Link. Gizzard.
Well, I was going to vote for Lancelot Link, too.
Oh, okay, good.
So last 2 for Lancelot Link. Barbecue. Barbecue probably doesn't know Lancelot Link.
That's what I figured. Probably nobody knows what he is. Except for me bitching about it all the time.
Yeah, you're muted, Barbecue.
Oop. There we go. So Lancelot Link I've actually heard of. Chim Chim I'm not too familiar with, but Chim Chim doesn't have any votes. I'm going to vote for Chim Chim.
You know what Speed Racer is?
Oh, is that the monkey?
Yeah.
That's Chim Chim?
He's the original trunk monkey. Yep.
Oh, God. I'm going to vote for Chim Chim anyways, just because I already did.
Mr. Bob said Lancelot Link.
Oh, you didn't like Speed Racer? Or just didn't like Chim Chim out of Speed Racer?
Just, I saw bits and pieces of Speed Racer. I was never a fan.
Oh, wait. Are you talking about the movie, or are you talking about the cartoon? Because the cartoon's from the 60s, and it's real. The movie is weird and different.
I think both, actually.
I hated the movie.
Okay.
And I liked Chim Chim. I did
Movie
not like
type
Squirtle.
I do not like. The kid, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, the kid can go take a long walk on a short pier. The monkey is awesome.
He was unnecessary. Any part that he played could have been done by Chim Chim. But they were together most of the time, anyways. But I'm gonna have to go Lancelot Link. I love Speed Racer, but Lancelot Link. So now we've got the Flying Monkeys. I think these matchups came out pretty good. They're matched up pretty good. The Flying Monkeys from Wizard of Oz versus Coco, the signing gorilla. G-Webs.
This one's easy because I could care less about Wizard of Oz. So the real monkey that has a kitten versus fake monkeys that are bats, really.
So one for Coco. Gary.
Coco.
Coco. Barbecue.
Coco.
Coco. Guns and Water said Cody. Next out of once, a Speed Racer was mostly still images vibrating and open mouths. Boo.
But it was in the 60s when the rest of the cartoons were like the Flintstones and shit, right? So Speed Racer was completely different, and it gave us a race car. It was like a dude's cartoon, and it was like
what?
Like a story that kept going because you had Racer X and shit. Everything else was bullshit for babies, and then there was Speed Racer. So yeah, it wasn't like top of the edge animation, but it was Japanese, so it was different. But then it was epic because it had this car driving around. And like none of our stuff until GI Joe, it was like no cartoons for dudes.
Speed Racer, I put in the same vein with Johnny Quest. The animation is a little different, but people died.
That's true. Yeah. It was real, right?
Yeah.
You'd go off a cliff and explode and shit.
Part of the problem with the Japanese cartoons that were brought over is when they're dubbed over, the pacing of the English is a lot faster, so it can match the mouths of people speaking Japanese. That's why it's a little awkward.
I forgot about Johnny Quest, but that was the other but they're about the same time, right? Like you said, they were. I don't think that's all they could. I think it was a cost thing, right? Like you could do Snow White, but it would have cost you like Disney money, so they did that.
X Adam said it's a third world country B-rated cartoon. Now he's just trolling. Yeah, Vulcan Rumble is back. And Fuku YT brings up
that had James Bond stuff and a monkey. So come on, and drones before drones even existed. Come
on. Fuku Boomstick brings up, what about Johnny Quest? I'm gonna go Flying Monkeys. I don't believe the Coco story. And
you don't
as
think
a kid, the Flying Monkeys were scary.
You don't think that monkey really sky languaged?
I no more than you can like your dog. It knows, like treat or this thing or that thing, but you can't tell it to do your taxes. And
so, well, what about when you got those buttons and the dogs can walk on the buttons, and then they'll be like,
I will ask you, how many buttons did they get pushed, and is that edited to make that look right? You don't know.
Well, I know the videos, yes, but I mean, I know people that have them, and their dog will use it to go like potty or water. Like if their water bowl's empty, the dog will step on it. Like, and I agree that it's not like the dog learned the word water, but it knows when I want to drink water and I step on this, that guy puts water in there. So if that's all that he had to figure out, like if I do this, then I get my kitten. If I do this, I get milk. That's sign language to me.
It's to me, it's akin to the chicken playing tic-tac-toe that beats people.
Yeah, well, then when they
It's
say
not.
like if a chicken makes tic-tac-toe and it gets food, then yeah, it's the same thing, right? Like if you
Yeah.
teach the chicken that if it wins, it gets food, then it's going to win. That's but I think that's still sign language because the whole goal is like the monkey wants a kitten or the monkey wants milk, and it told me. Like I don't care if it knows the word milk the same way I know the word milk and what a cow is, like, but it's be able to point. Anyway, I think it could learn at that level. I mean, I guess if they were saying
I
it spelled words and shit, I'd be like, all right, maybe.
I will say yes. I think there is something to that, but not as much as it was made out to be. I think it was a lot of the handlers telling you what the monkey was saying and whether the monkey was actually saying it or not.
Well, I also don't have anything, no skin in the game. I
Yeah,
only know vaguely of that monkey.
and I don't. Coco has passed away. I don't. I don't. I'm not. It doesn't make me happy. It doesn't make me sad. Ultimately don't really care. But I'm gonna go Flying Monkey.
What about the whole backstory that monkey was part of a criminal gang of monkeys that was robbing banks, and then it got its life in a better direction and learned sign language? You don't even give them credit for that.
Well, that sounds like was it Sing, where the kid gorilla, his dad's a gangster, and he wants to sing, and he's a good singer, but his dad doesn't want him to sing till the very end when he actually hears his kid sing and changes
Is that a real
his
movie?
feeling. Yeah, cartoon. So now we've got Clyde from the Any Which Way movies against Caesar from Planet of the Apes movie.
Easy. I hated Any Which Way But Loose, and I loved the other one, so I love Planet of the Apes, so Caesar wins.
Gary,
Caesar.
Caesar.
They took a premise of a dude driving around with a monkey and ruined it, in my opinion, because driving around with a monkey is epic. BJ and the Bear at all, but then they ruined it with slapstick in that movie.
That was almost on the list, but I didn't think enough people would know BJ and the
I
Bear.
mean, that's basically a substitute because they're rip-offs of each other, kind of. I think what BJ came second, right? He's the rip-off.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure because BJ was like Knight Rider days, and that movie
Yeah,
was before Knight Rider.
it was. It had to be. I know I was grade school. I don't know what grade, like third or fourth grade.
Like Every Which Way But Loose is that dude walking around with that monkey, and they're drinking and getting in fights and shit. And BJ and the Bear is like, you know, like watching Knight Rider. Like they punch people maybe, but then there's like car chases, but there was no guns or nothing. Like, BJ wasn't ever slapping anybody. I don't think he would like dump water on somebody or something. It was like the PG version of that R-rated movie. Well,
Barbecue, Clyde or Caesar?
Oh, so I've never seen Planet of the Apes, any of them. And sorry, but Clyde Left Turn is iconic. Like, you say it, people know what you're talking about. Going with Clyde.
What's that? He says
Apes.
left turn. He smacks somebody.
Yeah,
What's
he
that?
punches out the window.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I seen that movie, but like literally, probably when it came out. Like I haven't seen that movie in forever. But you haven't seen any of the Planet of the Apes. Do you go out of your way not to watch them? Like they've been on cable and you turn them off, or because there's a ton of them.
Well, I will say Planet of the Apes, Escape from Planet of the Apes, and Conquest of the Planet of the Apes. Maybe beneath Planet of the Apes. That's about it. And in that order.
I like them all. I mean, some of them are worse than others, but I'll take into the Planet. I even like the Marky Mark version of Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. I'm gonna vote Caesar because I really do like Planet of the Apes more than the Any Which Way movies. So now we've got Bonzo from Bedtime for Bonzo, which I know probably nobody has seen but me, against Curious George, the curious little monkey.
Yeah, I
Like
don't
the
even.
man in the yellow hat, big yellow hat, kidnapped. G-Webs.
I don't think I ever seen the Bonzo ones. Maybe when I was a little kid. I thought Curious George, the first one, he finds him in the jungle or something.
Yeah,
So Curious George.
Curious George. Gary.
Did they make that for us, or was that a book from like the olden days that we just got a carbon copy, like a rerun of? When did that book come out? You know.
It's, I don't know. Let me see what Wikipedia says. History.
Oh, see, 1939. I thought so. It first came out in 1939, so it's not us. We got a rerun of it.
Wikipedia says 41, but about the same. So Gary, Bonzo, or Curious George?
Curious George.
Curious George. Barbecue.
I do not know Bonzo whatsoever, but what I do know is even when I was a child, Curious George annoyed the shit out of me for some reason. Don't really know why, but he did. So I'm going with Bonzo. Plus, he kind of has a kick-ass name.
What? It's a Reagan movie. I don't know if
That's
you like
right.
Reagan or not.
It was Ronald Reagan before he was any kind of politician. He was an actor, and that was one of his comedies, I think.
Let me go back up here. Wasn't the one I meant to click on. There we go. Ozzy said George. The goddamn bacon said, which way do we go, George? XM1. Curious George was my babysitter for years when I was a kid. Guns of Water. Beneath Planet of the Apes. My brother took me to see it. I was scared for years when they peeled off their faces. Fuku YT Boomstick said Bonzo. I'm gonna have to go with Curious George. I don't know. I have always liked Curious George. I never read the books. Watched the 80s cartoon just because at different times in my life, I only got PBS. I only got the free channels, and so I watched Curious George. But it's nice. Curious George was nice. When we're done, we'll look at the goddamn bacon wants to see your movie poster. The AI gave you. G-Webs. So now we've got Magilla Gorilla against Donkey Kong. G-Webs.
I'm not a video gamer, so Magilla, I guess. Even though not my favorite of the ones, but I would watch Magilla.
Magilla. Gizzard.
Oh, I'm gonna go with Donkey Kong on this one.
Donkey Kong. Barbecue.
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong. I think I'm gonna have to go Donkey Kong also. I did like McGilla, but I'm of that age where I played Donkey Kong in the arcade and on the Atari. So now these matchups came out pretty even, pretty good matchups, I think. So King Kong versus Mighty Joe Young, the original versus the copy. G Webs,
The king.
King Kong. Gary,
King Kong.
King Kong. Barbecue.
Mighty Joe Young was my childhood. I got to go with the ripoff.
Mighty Joe Young. I'm gonna go King Kong. I do remember liking Mighty Joe Young, but I'm gonna go with the original. King Kong was the 20s and Mighty Joe Young was the 40s. Now we've got the Trunk Monkey versus Mechanicong. G-Webs.
This is a tough one. I think both of these could have taken it to the end potentially, but for the environment, I'm going to go with Trunk Monkey.
Trunk Monkey. Gizzard.
Trunk Monkey.
Trunk Monkey. Barbecue.
Trunk Monkey.
Trunk Monkey. Boomstick. Boomstick, said Trunk Monkey. I'm going to have to go Mechanicong. It's not a slight against Trunk Monkey, but I think I like the Mechanicong a little better. Mr. Bob seems to agree with Boomstick. Oh, so Lancelot Link versus Coco. G-Webs.
Let's just put him in the room and see what happens. Lancelot Link would kick the crap out of his sign language because he can talk.
Lancelot Link. Gizzard.
I gotta go with Coco because Foz doesn't believe in Coco.
Well, I love Coco. I had dark chocolate Coco, is to be specific, but Coco the gorilla, no thank you. Barbecue.
I'm going to go with Coco because, like Robert Williams said, when a 400-pound gorilla has you by the nipples, you listen.
The goddamn bacon's a brass monkey. Another party I was invited to. That funky monkey, brass monkey. I'm gonna go Lancelot Link. So it's a tie. So this one it has to go to the chat. So we've got 2 votes for Trunk Monkey. We'll give it a minute here. For anybody else that wants to vote. Tick tock, tick tock. Yeah, the Lancelot Link. I would watch when I went to my grandma's house because they had cable, and it played on TBS.
It's Lancelot Link versus Coco, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Trunk Monkey was last time.
Oh. Oh no, it's Trunk Monkey versus Coco. Yeah.
No, we're still on Lancelot Link versus Coco.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Everybody's looking at.
I don't know what I'm doing. We're off the rails here.
We're only on
AAF
the first.
American.
We're only on the first of 3 brackets here, people. Come on, let's get our heads in it.
AAF American Ammo and Firearms is out there. Boomstick wants to know, is Bigfoot a monkey?
For this poll.
I will say yes.
No, monkeys have tails.
Well, remember, we're including apes.
Yep.
Oh, for this poll, yeah. But I'm saying in general.
So Guns and Water said Lancelot Link. So we're going to move Lancelot Link forward here. Guns and Water had a Viewmaster disc with Lancelot Link.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. So now we've got Caesar versus Curious George. G-Webs.
Well, Curious George doesn't have a salad named after him.
So one for Caesar. Gary.
George.
One for George. Barbecue.
Somebody needs to stab that little annoying monkey with a friggin' salad fork. I'm going with Caesar.
Caesar.
What's that other one where the guy has a purple marker? What if you gave George a purple marker?
Purple marker.
There's some other book I remember from that being a little kid where somebody has a purple marker and they draw shit and it turns into stuff or something.
I don't know. I'm going to go Caesar. He led his people to freedom. Well, originally it was supposed to be is in Conquest of the Planet of the Apes. He was supposed to overthrow the humans, but the studio didn't like it and made him change it, so it ends up with that stupid standoff where they say they will put down their arms.
Was Planet of the Apes like a book and then they started making it, or was it?
Yeah, it's loosely based on the French book Monkey Planet.
Oh, okay. So it was just one book. It wasn't like a series where they were just making the books over and over into movies. They started making up the movies themselves.
I believe so. Guns and Water said, well, if Gorilla is a monkey, I don't see why Bigfoot wouldn't also be a monkey. So now we've got Donkey Kong versus King Kong. Battle of the Kongs. G-Webs.
I will go with the real Kong instead of the fake Kong. So I'll go with King Kong.
King Kong. Gary.
King Kong.
King Kong. Barbecue.
This is a little tough. King Kong.
King Kong. I will agree. This is kind of tough. I have fond memories of playing Donkey Kong, and I really liked King Kong.
Actually, I would like to change mine because I was thinking. I just literally thought of like the original Mario Brothers, where Donkey Kong literally just rolls barrels, and you just got to climb the levels.
Yeah.
And avoid the barrels. That was a lot of fun. I'm going with Donkey Kong.
Dude, that's the name of that game. Mario Brothers is a second game after that game because they gave the dudes in that game their own game. But Donkey Kong was the first game.
I wasn't sure. I don't care either way. It was fun.
Boomstick said Kong. The goddamn bacon said I would call them primates to cut the confusion, though I think Bigfoot is its own entity. Yes, for bracketing reasons, I used monkey because monkey is funnier. King Kong. I think he's clarifying which Kong. I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go King Kong, though it's just about 50-50, I think, for me. I like the original movie. I can appreciate it. The stop motion King Kong. I like the 76 King Kong. It gets a lot of criticism. I liked the newer Kongs, not as much.
What about the one with Jack Black in it?
Yeah, I don't. The more I see Jack Black, the less I like Jack Black.
I don't like Jack Black at all, but I definitely like that King Kong.
It was okay. Skull Island, I liked. The Kong versus Godzilla. Godzilla would have won. He is the king of the monsters. But I like the Japanese raggedy looking King Kong. So we've got the Trunk Monkey versus Lancelot Link now. Gee webs.
This is again very tough, but the Trunk Monkey's gonna fight dirty, even though Lancelot Link is cleverer and should win. Trunk Monkey.
One for Trunk Monkey. The goddamn bacon said I'm pretty sure I cried when King Kong heart stopped beating. Guns of Water said we'd have to shoot a Bigfoot to find out what it is. Cryptids could be aliens.
You don't gotta shoot
You
it.
can't do that. You can't shoot them in Washington. They're a protected species.
You just gotta track it, and when it dies, do an autopsy.
Oh, Gary, Trunk Monkey or Lancelot Link?
Trunk Monkey.
Trunk Monkey. Barbecue.
Trunk Monkey.
Trunk Monkey. Boom! 6 said Trunk Monkey. But the Bigfoot is actually back in the, I can't remember if it was late 80s, early 90s. Bigfoot was put on the protected species list in Washington. So you cannot legally shoot a Bigfoot in Washington. I'm going to have to, I did like Lancelot Link, but Trunk Monkey.
I feel like if I was in Washington and I shot a Bigfoot, I would just put a club or a knife in its hand and claim self-defense.
Just scream, he's coming right at me.
Be like, no, Bigfoot, put that down. And then do whatever I need to do.
So now we've got Caesar versus King Kong.
Trunk Monkey now?
Caesar versus King Kong.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, what? I thought that's what you had asked me, but then I heard King Kong and Trunk Monkey. I was like, I don't remember voting on that one.
No, I went too far back up. So Caesar or King Kong? Barbecue.
Oh, I already said King Kong on that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've got it marked. I totally lost where I am. I'm gonna have to go Caesar. I like Planet of the Apes more than I like King Kong. So let me.
I just went out and watched the stream, and it's working for me. But is it not working for everybody else?
I don't know. So we're going to move Caesar on, I think. I think I'm going to give it to Caesar. So now we've got Trunk Monkey versus Caesar. So Violent Monkey versus Violent Monkey. Gee webs.
Did you not take the audience vote from my vote?
Well, Caesar got it. The judges have ruled
Because I see a bunch of comms, that's all.
that Caesar got it.
All right, so Trunk Monkey.
One for Trunk Monkey.
He already beat Lancelot Link, and I don't know what that other one says. Something.
I guess sounds like the people are saying the video froze, but the audio was okay. Or, well, Vulcan Rumble lost the audio. I don't know. Holy shite balls. Night Strike.
Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock.
I don't even know that's the real Night Strike anymore. It's probably AI. It's AFT trying to get us to let our guard down, acting as Night Strike using AI.
He may have just merged with the internet. He's become one with the internet.
Oh, yep.
Gary, Trunk Monkey or Caesar?
Trunk Monkey.
Trunk Monkey. Guns Water said he had lost both audio and visual. Barbecue. Caesar or Trunk Monkey?
Trunk Monkey.
Trunk Monkey. X Adam 1 said Trunk Monkey helps car owners. Caesar wanted to kill humans, so Trunk Monkey. Oh, I'm going to go Caesar. But Trunk Monkey is the winner.
Is Ozzy voting for Night Strike?
It's his favorite monkey.
He's not even on the bracket.
It's Night Strike. Guns Water said Trunk Monkey. X Adam 1 convinced me. And Night Strike said, I am not AI. That's exactly what an AI would say. So the Trunk Monkey has been voted the best monkey.
That's a good bracket.
It's pretty evenly matched out there. It worked out.
Where did you get the idea for this bracket?
Well, it was originally going to be clowns,
Ugh.
but I couldn't come up with 16 clowns.
Good. How long before we can put this in an AI and it creates little computer generated battles of all these monkeys, and then we see Trunk Monkey win? Does Trunk Monkey win with a gun or with a knife?
Crowbar.
Oh snap!
Night Strike said, I'm not monkeying around.
Mm-hmm. Just like the AI would say.
Gizzard said Puddles should be on the clown bracket.
Let me know what day the clown bracket will be here, and I'll sleep in that day.
Well, I was specifically going to do the clown bracket because you were bugging me about brackets. But
I wasn't bugging you. I just heard word on the street was there was going to be 3 brackets tonight. That's all I'm saying. I was walking around, and a lot of people were talking about it. It was a scuttlebutt on the street.
There really isn't 16 good clowns to put in the bracket. You know, you've got Ronald McDonald, Bozo the Clown. I was gonna put Emmett Kelly. He's the sad clown you always see in the old paintings.
Simpsons.
Trusty.
Holy shit. It's on now.
Boo.
Now we're just in time for the second bracket. Welcome.
I am totally not AI.
That's exactly what AI would say.
Okay, only AI would not have an icon on the screen.
Yeah, right. Because I don't use this platform, right?
No, it's worse than that. Every time you join, you have to put it in there. Like, it doesn't remember it. You have to put it in every time you jump in.
It's all your fault, G-Webs. It's all your fault.
This was created by monkeys.
How you been, Night Strike?
I've been better, but, shit happens.
It's been a minute, as the kids would say.
Are you sure the kids would say that these days?
I don't know. I'm not up with what the kids would say. But
Neither am I.
Are you up early or are you up late?
No, I woke up in the middle of the night.
so what have you been up to lately?
Personal stuff. You know how it goes.
That's both.
Yeah. We're getting all the clown suggestions out there.
There.
Because there's said Biden the Clown. Guns of the Water said Captain Spaulding, which not familiar with that.
That's from House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects.
I never saw those. That's why I'm not familiar with those.
I feel like Abigail would be familiar with those. Or with Captain Spaulding.
Bozo. Boomstick said Bozo. Flippo the Clown. I don't know Flippo the Clown. Or Shakes the Clown, X Adam 1. Homie the Clown. Homie would have been on the list.
What about
It?
It. The Pennywise.
Yes, Pennywise, thank you.
Was on the list. Gun of Water said send in the clowns.
I typed in the list of clowns, not to my robot, but to Wikipedia, and like 90% of the clowns on here are things I never heard of from Europe. So that tells you a lot about clowns, in my opinion.
They're all European?
No, just a shit ton of them are, though. And then it's like Sid
Were they actual clowns or were they mimes?
I don't know, dude.
Well, I probably would have had Marcel Marceau on there. He's a mime.
They haven't broke down to like theatrical television film, so I mean, I'm not going into depth. They just have the words here. They don't even have pictures or nothing. I'm just saying I've never heard any of this shit. One of them says like Russian clown student from 1930. Like, what the hell?
Maybe you should have put clowns of the 20th century or 21st century in there.
Probably. Clarabelle, does anybody remember that one? Gizzard might.
Clarabelle was a sidekick.
Oh, I remember one. Am I allowed to say there was one from a song, but I don't want to say it. From the Dr. Demento days.
Yeah, that might not be kosher.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it on the internet anymore because it was not even all that funny back then. Binky is from Garfield, it says. Chuckles the Clown from the Mary Tyler Moore Show, who was trampled to death in an episode. Holy shit, what the hell is going on Mary Tyler Moore Show?
That's pretty dark.
There's a shit ton of clowns, but seriously, they're all just dumb things that no one's ever heard of. How about Jack from Jack in the Box? That's a real one. Or is that just Jack in the Box? Is that really a clown?
That's a Jack in the Box, really.
Yeah.
I would give it clown status.
It's on the Wikipedia.
For those who grew up in Washington, JP Patches. I have a J.P. Patches bobblehead.
Oh, what about Ronald McDonald?
That's the first one I said, I think.
Definitely a clown.
Shakes the Clown?
I don't know. Shakes the Clown.
I guess that was a movie, it says. I think that was Bobcat. Maybe not. How about Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal video game?
I'm familiar with it, and I kind of want to watch there's a TV show, but I don't get that channel. So. A Boomstick said, wasn't Clarabelle from Howdy Doody?
Yeah, that's what it said. On the internet here.
X Adam 1 said Bobcat is Shakes.
Okay. I don't know if it was funny or not. I don't think I liked that guy, so I don't think I watched the movie. How about Doink the Clown? You know what that is?
The wrestler.
I don't even know how I didn't think of that. I'm a failure.
It says wrestlers, and I'm like, huh.
Yeah, there were
Doink
multiple
was-
Doinks.
I feel like I'm missing a clown. Like, did Cheech and Chong or somebody have a clown? Like, there's some
Bozo?
movie. No, they said Bozo already.
Okay. All right.
But without getting into like the weird mimes and European shit that's weird, then yeah, there's not that many clowns, I guess. I assumed there was a lot more clowns than there is. Which I'm fine with. I don't think we need more clowns.
I think we need less clowns.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what about Steve-O?
I'm not saying it should be illegal. It should just be discouraged.
So what's creepier, clowns or dolls?
Clowns. Dolls have a reason. Like little girls use dolls for playing or whatever. Clowns are just creepy and used for evil, basically.
I don't know. Have you heard of Annabelle?
I don't know what that is.
It's a movie.
That's an AI doll.
This is exactly what AI would say. You're not helping your case.
Very funny.
Oh, ICP. That's a good one. And we said that
Oh,
yet.
God, no.
I would have put them on the list.
Yeah.
I'm not an ICP fan. They have one song that's I kind of like their cover of it. Let's Go All the Way.
It's not even so much their music, it's the fan base.
I don't think I've ever met a juggalo in real life.
When I was in high school, there was a bunch of kids that claimed to be juggalos and juggalettes, and yeah, and just as time has gone on and the more I've seen and whatnot, I'm like, no. Nope.
Did you say that when people have that tattoo, they get beat up in jail?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they a lot of prisons, because they are recognized as a gang, and not only are they recognized as a gang, but if you've got one of those tattoos, a lot of prisoners will associate you with being a child predator, and so they just immediately, if you've got that, they beat the snot out of you, so you're not on the yard anymore because they want you gone.
Well, they wanted to start their own gang, the Inner City Posse, and then got into the extreme wrestling and the music.
It's another reason I don't like them.
Came up with the Insane Clown Posse so they could keep the same initials, ICP.
It also helps if you go into bathrooms and stare at dudes peeing.
But I mean, I looked up their wiki one time.
Oh, apparently the other day. Sorry. Apparently the other day I was staring at a guy. Didn't know I was staring at a guy. because, blind guy problems. And apparently he's one of those people that's like, I don't care, I'm going to say something. He's like, got a fucking staring problem? And I just sat there. He's like, hey, I'm talking to you. You got a fucking staring problem? So then I just pointed at myself. I was like, me? He's like, yeah. Who else am I fucking talking to? And I held up my blind cane that's sitting on my table. And I was like, I don't know who you're talking to, but I'm blind. He didn't say anything the rest of the time.
There's a guy that does voiceovers that's blind. I've seen a bunch of his YouTube videos. I think G-Webs has maybe seen him. He does surfing too. He's a blind surfer.
What?
But he told a story about being at the gym, and a girl got upset because she thought he was staring at her. And he told her, I'm blind. I don't know what I'm looking at.
Yes.
And then she went and got the manager who came over and said, you shouldn't be staring. And he goes, I'm blind. I don't know what I'm looking at. Well, and he was told, well, you still shouldn't stare. Okay.
Yeah, because that's something a blind person can help.
It was Blind Surfer that told that story.
I seen an Instagram where somebody took his friend out to the desert, some dunes or whatever, and then the guy was blind. He was just like driving around because there was nowhere to crash. It'd be kind of like surfing blind. Although I'd be scared shitless surfing blind that one of those like rocks or pier, whatever those pieces of wood are, like that you'd smash into one of those.
Or sharks.
Well, he's got somebody that goes out with him.
Sharks can't stop swimming, so you just grab onto them and then start punching them in the eye, and then they'll leave you alone.
Really? Have you done this before?
I've theoretically done it before.
Oh, theoretically. Okay, all right. That's something an AI would say.
He's run the simulations.
The AI is talking to AI. This is the part where we're supposed to turn off the computers.
I've thought about it enough that I've basically mastered the situation if it ever happens.
So what should next time whenever we do a bracket, what should we do a bracket about?
Have you ever done a lever action bracket of any type?
What would be the context of the bracket?
Oh, I don't know. I was just wondering if you've ever approached that area, that realm. What about suppressors? Because suppressors are about to be free and legal. You're about to go just get suppressors at the local store like they have pennies now. If you need a penny, leave a penny type of thing. That's what suppressors are about to be.
Well, that's kind of what 16 things about a suppressor.
16 guns that are best to suppress. 16 top crimes you're going to start committing as soon as suppressors illegal.
What if you did a mixed bracket? So you did a bracket with 4 just plain Jane pump action shotguns, 4 bolt action rifles, 4 semi-automatic rifles, and 4 semi-auto shotguns. And then just mix everything and see what comes out.
Best gun, you mean?
Yeah, just...
Well, we could do that. Best long gun. Out of that. That might work. Larry Knopf is out there. He's staying up late.
Ooh.
He's a daytimer now. He's one of them. But it's nice to see him. I do see him every now and again in the mornings. He brightens my day with his smile.
How has your gig been? Is it getting any different? Like schedule, planning on changing or anything?
You talking to me or?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking to Night Strike.
No,
No.
Night Strike just said well, we all know Night Strike's basically independently wealthy, semi-retired, living the life of luxury, just hanging out every day,
Yeah.
waking up, deciding what adventures he wants to go on.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's totally how it not is in my life.
So what was your question?
Oh, I don't know. You'd essentially gone to this, from what I understand, we went to this schedule based off of your work schedules and stuff, and you hadn't really said much about that in a while. Just wondering if your work schedule's treating you good.
For the most part, yeah, it works for what's going on. So I like it. It's not as good as having money and not working, but for what it is, it's working out. So I don't have any real complaints. I did have a homeless guy yesterday threatened to beat my ass, which I told him go ahead.
And
He
this is
didn't.
because he was upset that there hadn't been brackets on the show in a while.
I think he was just upset.
No. He was upset there were no brackets. That's why.
But other than that, it's work is fine. We're all fine. How you doing?
They didn't give you like a bunch of new employees, and you're about to have like more and more days off all the time.
No. Just trying to remember. I know there was stuff that I meant to come out and write down on the whiteboard, which I, of course, forgot.
Anybody watch any of those movies or TV shows that are out there?
What did I watch? I know I watched I watched the second Frozen movie.
You know that channel that did the thing about ninja movies? I watched something on that channel that they did recently. Was it Terminator? No, it was RoboCops or Terminators maybe, or something like that. I watched another one of those episodes where they talked all about the different movies of some genre, whatever it's called, genre.
I know there was. God, I was thinking about it. Oh, I was gonna watch Hellraiser. I never watched Hellraiser, the movie.
Oh, any of
Yeah.
them? Is there a bunch of them now?
You never watched
I knew
any of
about
them?
them. I knew kind of the characters, but I never actually watched the movies. And then I watched a movie about the Pinhead. So I thought, well, shit, I might as well watch.
Oh,
the
I'm
movie.
thinking of Hellboy. You're talking Hellraiser, the
Oh,
cube
yeah,
and the guy with the pinhead.
yeah.
Hellraiser, the first one was good, and all the rest of them were not as good as the first one, in my opinion. I think I've seen 3 of them. I really like the first one, I think.
So I put that on the mental list to watch, but I forgot about it. I've seen Hellboy 1 and 2. I didn't see the remake. I liked the first one. The second one I didn't like as much. But I haven't really watched anything new. Kind of been going back and then rewatching stuff. I just finished Cowboy Bebop. Rewatching all of that. Anime.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And I don't know. Oh, went and rewatched the Forged in Fire.
The TV show?
Yeah. Disney has some of it. I don't think they have all of it. It's kind of the only stuff other than I watch a lot more YouTube than I do TV.
Dude, if you want to get into YouTube, I watched something that changed my whole opinion about the future.
He watched a video on AI.
No, way better. Well, AI is a part of it, I guess. Quantum and AI. But are you down for getting into a whole nother awesome conversation 2 hours into the show?
Oh, no, we'll probably wrap it up here in a little bit.
That's too bad. Literally changed my opinion of the future listening to the Sean Ryan interview with this Air Force Lieutenant General. Guy who was in charge of acquiring new technology for the Air Force for a long time. He talked about his new companies and some major shit that is going to basically change the future. It's pretty neat.
I don't trust AI, and then when you add in quantum computing, it's all freaky and
Quantum is going to happen.
unsettling.
It's
I find it unsettling.
Yeah, but it's the future. It's going to happen sooner than we think. All the barriers to it are gone, theoretically. It's just a matter of implementing them. And we're not really doing as fast as some of the other countries, but there's already countries at the state level working on some of this technology. So it'll happen sooner than we can imagine, I think.
Yeah, I can see that. But, well, Night Strike, Mr. Strike.
Yes.
Is there anything you'd like to let everybody know about? Anything you got coming up, or?
Nope, nothing's coming up. Sadly.
Okay. Well, it is very nice to see you. It's been quite a while.
I just came in here to disprove that I'm AI. I'm not AI.
Well, with the advancements in computing, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure advancements can't emulate me.
He's got an icon, so it seems kind of human.
Well, there's no face behind that. I don't.
Yeah, but
Do
no AI.
you really want me to turn my camera on with my shirt off like Bob?
That would prove. That would be proof.
No, I'm not. I'm not turning my camera on. Not for you.
Alrighty.
Besides
That's what AI would say.
over.
I appreciate you jumping in. G-Webs, anything you got coming up? You want to let everybody know about?
If you are interested in what I was talking about, go listen to the Sean Ryan channel, the Sean Ryan podcast, I think is what it's called. He's some kind of, I think he was Navy SEAL and CIA, and he's got a fairly popular podcast, SEAN, Sean Ryan. And then
I've seen clips from his chats.
Yeah, they're okay. He does some interesting stuff. He does some weird stuff, but it's the interview with the Air Force Lieutenant General. It can't be but a week old or something. But hopefully one day we'll talk about this stuff because I can't wait. It's like I say, I was one way or the other about the future, and now I'm super optimistic, super psyched about the future of humanity and the planet. Like I'm thinking there's a reason they're pushing all this doom and gloom at us, because pretty soon they're not going to be able to do any of that, and it's going to be Star Trek. Like we're so close to Star Trek, it's awesome.
Gary, if you want to save your voice, it's understandable.
Well, hopefully in the future I'll have my voice back so I can do more videos. But because I do have a live stream coming on Monday at 9 p.m. But yeah, watch my videos I put out this week. I did 2 Civivi knife videos, and then today a Nightcore flashlight video. So
Nightcore.
So check that out, and yeah, I'll save my voice for the rest of it because I can't do much talking, and you probably can't hear me or understand me. So I apologize. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you toughing it out and hanging out with us. Barbecue.
I would like to remind everybody to go over on Monday night if Kizzer Gary's feeling up to it. I'm sure if not, he would leave a reminder that he's not, but go over, check out his channel on Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern for Foul Territory. Be sure to go and buy lots of shirts off of DM Foss, even though he feels uncomfortable about it. I again don't have any idea where to find that stuff, but once I figure it out, I'm probably going to buy a shirt myself. As for myself, I'm slowly releasing some shorts on the 2A is Blind channel. I do plan on making some lengthier 2A content here soon, but I've got 1,600 photos of midget wrestling to call through right now. So that's going to take me a little bit of time to delete most of those and then edit the keepers and get those off to the promotion. So, yeah, that's what I've got going on. Thanks for the invite.
Well, thanks for showing up. There is a link in the description for Give Send Go for Sharon Hinchcliffe. She's an awesome lady who does a lot for the 2A advocacy. And she's dealing with the cancer, and her insurance doesn't pay for the surgeries and stuff that she needs. So she has the Give Send Go to try and raise a little money. If you got a couple extra bucks, you can throw her way. Anything, everything helps. Anything would be appreciated. As Gary put out in the chat, Monday is Every Second Matters. So I should have a post, maybe a video, if Gary doesn't mind if I use some of his likeness and or voice in a video.
Use my good voice, not this voice.
Depends on if I get around to editing it.
I don't know if you can edit that much out.
I'll probably do maybe some videos on the reloading the Sing-A-Lot and the Dangerous Game Slug. Need to get to the range and shoot them, see if they blow up or if they go bang or go boom. And there'll be another short on the limp wristing series on Monday. But next live chat will be next Saturday.
Can I ask Gizzard to say something in his voice so that we can get it on the audio? I put it in the private chat over there.
But I think other than that, I hope everybody has a good rest of the night and go do something good.